board and we'll get started. Let's start off with Leah Davis, student, and then we'll go to Kaylin. What's hot? What do you appreciate?
What's hot is I'm meeting my team for Monopoly tonight, so I've got Tasso right here. I'm gonna get to see Alex and Chloe. What do I appreciate is my family for really helping me out these last few days.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Kaylin, then we'll go to Eric. Kaylin, can you hear us? All right, we'll go to Eric, and then we'll go to Gabriel.
What's hot is I have momentum for the March Madness push. I haven't sold as much like in a week since summer. And what I appreciate is the Tampa reps and Victoria Oliver. She helped me out a bunch this week with almost everyone being out of pocket for the event.
Nice. Yeah, and you and Victoria are both leading the way, so that is hot. Nice job. Let's go to Gabriel, and then we'll go to Tasso.
What's hot? I just had a great workout. Just got home. You know, I'm just always good to get back in the gym after a while that I couldn't go. And I really appreciate my parents because yesterday I had an incident going to soccer practice. Apparently I had a flat tire and I had no clue in my car. I started going crazy. And I didn't really understand because I never had that happen to me. And, you know, if it wasn't for my parents, I would have no clue what to do. So, yeah, really appreciative of that.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, it's good to know how to what to do in that situation. So hopefully you learn next time. All right, Tasso, and then we'll go to Alyssa. Hey, Gabriel, remind me to tell you my story from earlier this year. Thanksgiving, I got stuck in the Keys with a flat tire. And it was like Thanksgiving, the evening before Thanksgiving, I had to get up 3 hours north of Jupiter. Real expensive Uber. Real expensive. All right, we'll go to Tasso, and then we'll go to Alyssa.
Yeah, what's hot? Get to hang out here with Leah, Alex, and Chloe tonight. And what do I appreciate? Joe Rogan. I appreciate Joe Rogan. I love his podcast. And he's been helping me keep that state of mind that I want to be in.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Alyssa, and then we'll go to Issa.
Keeping on Gabe's track with car problems. What's hot? I finally got my car back. It was in the shop for like 2 days because the battery decided to die on me while I was at school. So yeah, I had to get it like towed to the collection. Then I got it back this weekend. And I appreciate my dad because he helped me out with getting the tow truck.
Nice. Yeah, your dad's a good plug for car problems.
Yeah, but it didn't go to his dealership. It went to another dealership. So I don't know what he was doing there, but the car is fixed and it's in my driveway, which is what's important.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Issa, and then we'll go to Josh, and then we'll go to Deanna.
So what's hot is I'm out of quarantine, and what I appreciate are my friends.
All right, let's go to Josh, and let's go to Deanna.
What's hot is I got an invite to the clubhouse so I can finally watch Andrew and Luke tomorrow. What I appreciate is Anthony and Cassidy giving me the opportunity to work with all the reps this weekend.
Yes, sir. All righty. Yeah. Anyone else needs a clubhouse invite, let me know. All right, we'll go to Deanna, and we'll go to Madison.
What's hot is I invited one of my friends over to Gainesville this weekend that I haven't seen in like a year. And I appreciate all my friends.
All right, let's go to Madison, and then we'll go to Jonathan.
What's hot is school's going pretty well right now, which is really good because it felt really rocky at the beginning with a whole new load of classes, but now it feels pretty good. And I really appreciate Cassidy. She's really been there for me, especially today. So, yeah.
Awesome. Jonathan, we're going to skip you. Sorry, I'm going to kick you in. We'll go to Victoria, and then we'll go to Caitlin if her mic is working.
What's hot? I get to pick my courses for the fall semester tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And I'm thankful for this job because I got to do a spontaneous trip to Georgia to go see my aunt get married on Friday, and I still was able to help with coaching and everything, so it was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate the flexibility of this job as well. All right, Kaylin, can we hear you?
Yeah, we're good now. Sorry.
You're good.
So what's hot is everybody at Zaxby's is trying to get me to stay. They're like, "Oh, just work 1 day a week." And I appreciate them for the effort, but the 50-cent raise isn't gonna do anything.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we appreciate having you on the team. Jonathan, take us home.
All right, what's hot is I just got word that Issa's moving back down to Miami this week, so we're gonna have the entire AM squad in Florida now. So
Hey, there we go. Issa, you're moving back like this week?
this
I'm not
week-
moving back, just coming back.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, we will go ahead and get things ready to rock and roll. I'll actually share what's hot, what I appreciate real quickly. Let me go ahead and queue up my screen. I'll share this. I shared with us with the NLG group 2 days ago. So what's hot for me and what I appreciate is coming off of the DVM trip to Turks and Caicos. So I go by Provo golf course, Turks and Caicos hat on. But we had a division manager trip last year. Scott put out a bounty for us if we went from $30 million in sales to 40 million. He said the year that we hit 40 million, he would take us on a trip to Turks and Caicos. That was supposed to be like a couple years down the road. It was realistically when it happened, but we did it the first year. He gave us the bounty. So we had a division manager trip last week for the weekend at Turks and Caicos. What was not so hot was I took 4 COVID tests in 7 days to navigate the travel logistics between getting in and out of the country, and I spent over $1,000 on COVID tests alone. So anytime someone tells you that they don't have money for a homemaker, well, I spent that on a COVID test last week. On another note, it was a really, really great trip. This is actually the first time that I got a chance to connect with the rest of the division managers. And believe it or not, this crew, I'll kind of walk you guys. This is Larry Manley. He's in charge of the Carolina division. Brian Hurlman and Alexandra, his wife, who's in charge of the Virginia division. Trey Harris for Florida Atlantic. His wife was not there. Trey Ketchum and Caitlin Ketchum. And Trey runs the Georgia division. Myself and my girlfriend, Jenna, that I don't think most of you have ever met. But you will probably meet her at one point or another. And then Ben Jackson, he was not there with his wife because she is currently about to give birth. So, and then this is Dan Miller, our sales promotion manager. So anyways, long story short, Turks and Caicos, I doubt most of you all have ever been, but if you have been, it's absolutely beautiful. It's this gorgeous island, everything, like the whole entire water. You can kind of see it here. It is like crystal blue. All the water is like you guys know the Tiffany blue color. That's like the color of the water there. And also it's the color of like the accents on every building. Like every building has like the Tiffany blue on the corners and edges of it everywhere. It's like really, really beautiful. Beautiful water. It's like a pond. There's no waves like anywhere on the island. You can walk out like 200 feet out and off of the island. And it was really, really cool, beautiful trip. I ended up getting there late from the whole COVID debacle. I didn't fly in on the day I originally was supposed to fly in there, but we were there for a couple of days. It was a beautiful time. Believe it or not, it's actually, I usually see the fellow division managers probably once every month or so. This is the first time that I've seen them since this time last year. So this is actually the first time we've all physically gotten together in person. Actually, the last time I saw them was in Paris last year on the last Vector trip and travel. So what I really appreciate is Vector travel. I love to travel, if you know me. That's one thing you know about me. And I love that we get the opportunity and both the flexibility to do that with our jobs. And also, if you like to travel, there's going to be some trips and travel that's up for grabs this year. And by the way, if we go where I have been lobbying for us to go, I'm going to be really, really excited. I'm going to be really excited to take everyone there too. So more updates to come on that. And then for our future, if you do really like travel, definitely go branch because that trip's even another level. I just sent out the details for our Australia, New Zealand trip. It's a 2-week, 10-day super trip that we'll be taking next year in February for our branch and district managers. So that's what's hot for me. That's what I appreciate. And for me, I also share that because coming off of this meeting, I am pretty much in summer mode. And even though the summer campaign doesn't officially start until the end of April, really, we have a 3-day long division manager meeting right before we left on this trip. And that's kind of our kickoff to the summertime. Usually this meeting was virtual. Usually it takes place in Dallas. But starting really this week, we're in full-blown summer mode. A week from this weekend, we'll have our summer kill meeting, which will be a 3-day live event that will happen in Miami for all of our branches and districts for the summertime. Following that, I will be doing 3 to 4 hour one-on-one sessions with 25 different branch and district managers for about 2 weeks straight. I'll be doing about 3 of those a day, nonstop back to back for about 2 weeks straight. And then I'll be doing the round with most of you all, or if you're in Tampa office, you'll probably be doing it with Mike. If you're in my office, I'll be doing the round of similar meetings with our assistant managers, and then we'll be in the summertime. It will be full blown summer mode. So really, really exciting. As you all know, we're in the midway point for our March Madness competition. So we've got about a week left. I just want to give special props to Victoria and Eric for stepping up and leading the way so far. I'm recognizing them because they're actually the only 2 people from this group right now that's over $1,000 in sales for this push. So again, I think, my thoughts for this group, and everyone has a specific selling plan with your respective manager. So it's different for everybody, but I know there's a lot more people that said they would be stepping up and performing for this push than actually are from this group. And I want to remind you guys, you didn't have to. There's a whole new second group that is out there trying to earn their spots right now as part-time assistant managers and as assistant manager interns. But leadership really steps with the people that are stepping up and leading, first. So you guys this is not a threat. I'm not taking away anyone's positions, but you really should be leading from the front with this group. And just know too that, that group of new acceptances, the people that are stepping up and pushing and performing now, they're behind you. Most of them are not 10K in career sales yet. They're getting accepted on a second round of acceptances. They haven't gone through all these assistant manager training calls, but just know by the summertime, they're going to be pretty prepared. And, if they have a lot of selling momentum going into the summertime, I'm just saying from an objective perspective, and Jonathan would probably say something similar. If I have an assistant manager that's a part-time AM, but they're on top of sending their PRs and they're selling every single week consistently, I'm probably going to want to move that person up into a lead role over somebody that's, it's 2 weeks now into summer and they still haven't gotten the ball rolling with selling. It's just the reality. So I do want to see some more leadership come out of this group. And I know everyone's a different situation. Some of you guys, like, this week is midterms week and finals, and it's just been like, absolutely crazy. And it's kind of wrapping up or it's over. So I'm really expecting you to step up this weekend and make some moves if you weren't able to and you're too busy studying for the first, last weekend. If you, are really not going to have the push that you want to have, it's probably what you do coming out of the push. And if you don't have a school situation, you just haven't been stepping up or putting the work in, then it's probably time to do that as we enter into the second leg and second half of the push. Tampa team, you guys are still in the standings for the March Madness competition. So keep working, keep leading the way at that. And other calendar reviews. If you guys want to open your calendar real quickly. Couple of quick announcements here for everybody. So again, Kill meeting is coming up. Really the only big date that you guys need to have in your calendars, okay, is a couple of different things. On the 23rd, we will start our new round of assistant manager calls. So this group will quickly get bigger. It will not be the 13 of you on the call now. It will be more like 50 people on the call. Okay, because it will be this group plus the newly accepted assistant managers plus this group in Florida Caribbean plus Florida Caribbean's new accepted managers. Okay, we'll be doing joint calls for those weeks leading into the actual summertime. So a lot of times we link up with Florida United for SE1 conferences, big events, things like that too, typically during the summertime. So we'll be doing that again this year, and that will be part of our assistant manager training. What I'd like to say though is there's going to be a group of 50 people. Again, I think, when we get to that point, this group should be the leaders of that group. These should be the most engaged. As by the way, like, this is not me trying to call you all forward. I have firm expectations that y'all are going to do this. I really want to give this group props. You all, like the 13 people on this call, not everybody, but most of you all, when we ran a division meeting to kick off March Madness, I noticed all the stuff. I saw the group chats and the light bulbs and things like that. The most engaged people in the division at that meeting was this group. seriously. You know, out of the whole entire, you know, beyond our branches and districts, beyond Florida Caribbean assistant managers, it was this group was the one that was really leading the tone, leading the culture, setting the pace, setting expectations. So, you know, same expectations as we start to show up on those calls with how you show up and how you're leading those groups. So those will start here pretty soon. The event, the only really big event, okay, that everyone needs to know about is summer kickoff, which the agenda is not submitted yet, but it will likely be about around 11 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, April 10th. Okay, so that will be summer kickoff. That event will be for our top SMRAs, our reps, our assistant managers, our branch managers, our district managers, and our division managers. That'll be an event for pretty much everyone that's an active person in the company going into the summertime. That will be on Saturday, April 10th. Now, I have a correction to make. Last week, I mentioned that we would be holding the divisional assistant manager training day, which is just kind of a special meeting just for you all. And our branches that have assistant managers will be joining us in that meeting. I said that was going to be on the 11th. We're going to change that to the 10th, or sorry, not the 10th, to the 9th. So not 2 meetings in one day, but that will probably be like a 3.5 to 4 hour little boot camp, basically to kick off the summertime with our assistant managers, okay, across the division. So we're going to move that event to the 9th, mostly because for a lot of offices, in fact, most offices in the division, the 11th is D-Day. You know, that really is the day where, hey, we're going to need that Sunday, like all your branches and district manager, like all the managers, we're going to need all hands on deck really coming out of that meeting onto that Sunday. So I don't think it would be wise for us to run the meeting on Sunday. So we'll be running that on Friday. It will probably be, you know, it won't be in the morning. It will be in the afternoon, and it won't go too late. It would probably be, you know, like a 3 to 7 p.m. type deal, or maybe a 4 to 8 once I check in with everybody's schedules. If for any reason, I know I'm changing this date. So if you know that you have something that might be in conflict, let me know. But there should be no conflict to the 10th, because we've told you all this before you ever were accepted as an assistant manager, that date would be a mandatory date to be a summer assistant manager this summer too. So the only other thing that you want to know is, and Tampa, confirm with Mike when you have the opportunity to. He'll probably let you all know when your date is. It's probably going to be somewhere similar, but I'm not sure if he's finalized it yet. For Miami, we're going to have our own little mini kill meeting before the summertime, and that will take place on the 24th. Okay, April 24th. So that's kind of the day. At that point in time, all of our assistant managers should be physically back in Miami, in the area, and that will be kind of like our own. That won't be a divisional anything. That will just be our team. We'll have a little meeting on the 24th, and that will be kind of our little kickoff to the summertime for our office and for our team. We'll already be working before that. Like the office will be full blown recruiting. In fact, that week our goal is to that's a Saturday. The Monday of that week, we're looking to finish off and close up that week at $40,000 in sales. So we want the officer to crank it by the time, but that's the time that most people should be, you know, completely done with finals, out of school, ready to rock and roll, and the whole staff is getting ready to move forward with the summertime at that point in time. So that's really all the only other calendar dates that you have. I also want to do a quick summer calendar review. So give me a thumbs up if you have a planner in front of you, by the way. If you don't have a planner in front of you, write these down in your notes and make sure they get transferred into your planner. Okay, I want to give you guys a quick walkthrough, because I don't think we've done this yet, of the summer calendar and the summer dates. Okay, this is not a lot of stuff to be like or concerned about, but let me just give it to all of you all so everybody has it, and then we're going to do a deep dive on PDI for today's conversation. So it's pretty much all you need for April. First things first is April 27th is the first official day of summertime. Okay, so I know it's kind of like sometimes it's confusing. Like, when does summer start? Well, Andrew's like, summer starts now, but it kind of starts in April, but it really starts in May. Okay, this is like the actual summer campaign for Cutco starts in, you know, April 27th. That's the first Cutco official week of summer. That's when all competitive standings start. Those of you guys that are looking to win a Silver Cup this summer, starts that day. Okay. That's the tabs for the summer campaign. So spring is over and we move officially over into the summer campaign. So April 27th is the first week of the summer. Okay. that is the first week where you would be expected to be meeting standards. Okay. Now, if you start being on AM pay before that, if you're out of finals a little bit early, we might, bring that back a little bit, but that's going to be really the first week where, on May 3rd, which is the end of the week of April 27th, that's the first week where you should have a bare minimum of $1,000 up on the board for that week. That's the first week, opening week of the summertime. Okay. And then, by the way, the 27th of April also starts a big old contest. So there's going to be probably 2 different contests that are going on, but there's a contest called the 3-week national push. Okay. This is not like an SE1. This is a national push. It's one of the only national pushes that we have. So there's not going to be a conference. There will not be a lot of the reality is that this push is really for you all. Okay. Because the representatives, they're just starting the job. They have no idea what this push even is. SE1 is usually the first push for them during the summertime, but this is just a push that they do nationally. So it's not just for our AMs. This is our CSPs. This is the push they go big for. For CSPs, this is one of the big pushes that people really go all out. They're giving over $30,000 in prizes away during this push. Okay. And they have 2 separate categories, by the way, for reps and for CSPs, or people over 150K in sales. So I just want to remind you, I'll tell you right now, if you are just following through and leading the way as a system manager, you'll win a bunch of stuff for free, which is kind of nice, So you shouldn't be trying to sell just for the push, but I think we'll go over more details of that push later when they announce the prizes and stuff like that too. But that will be a 3-week push just to kind of kick off the summertime, which I think will be nice because as you're trying to build momentum and get ready to rock and roll and build some consistency for the summertime, you'll be rewarded for that. There is no alliance meetings for that push. There is no I'm just letting you guys know. It's basically, think about it less as a push and more as a 3-week sales contest as you're getting kicked off for the summertime. So that's the 3-week national push. Then we go into the month of May. Okay. And on May 18th is our SC1 push kickoff meeting. Okay. So I'm going to just give you the big divisional events and conferences for the summertime. So May 18th is the SC1 push kickoff meeting. And that's the kickoff to our SC1 push. And the 17th is the last day of the 3-week national push. So May 17th, last day of national push, SC1 kickoff meeting is on the 18th. And then SC1 starts about a week later. So SC1 starts 2 weeks later on the 31st of May, which is also Memorial Day. Okay, 31st of May, which is also Memorial Day. That's the first day of the SC1 push. That's a Monday. SC1 will go from Monday, May 31st, and it will continue to June 15th. Okay, so June 15th is SC1. So SC1 starts on the 31st, Memorial Day, and it ends at the SC1 event, which is on June 15th. By the way, if you're doing this with pen, stop and write down your notes and transfer it over in pencil later. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that you're gonna write down as the summer goes on. The worst thing is that when the AM has a really unorganized calendar because they scribbled some stuff down in one meeting and they can't fix it for the rest of the summer. So just make sure it's nice and clean. You'll probably be adding more stuff into this as time goes on. Does anyone need me to repeat any dates so far? Cool. Thanks for following along, guys. Be engaged. June 15th is SC1. Okay. June 29th is the SC2 push kickoff meeting. So the SC2 division meeting, also known as our 10K Alliance meeting. That's the meeting what we have right before the SC2 push that sets up SC2, that we have the meeting in the breakouts for our 10K Alliance. That's on June 29th. Okay. And then if you flip open to July, couple of things to be aware of in July. 4th of July, just is on a Sunday. Okay, so 4th of July is on a Sunday. So we will not have a Sunday PSP meeting that day. The Sunday PSP meeting would get moved to Monday. That's on Jonathan. You might want to put down your notes too. Monday, the 5th, July 5th will be our Sunday PSP meeting that day. The SC2 push begins Monday, July 12th, which is nice timing. Sometimes it kind of interferes with 4th of July. This year it's good. So July 12th is the first day of the SC2 push, and that goes until the SC2 event, which is on Friday, July 30th. Okay. Flip open to August. So SC2 push starts July 12th, ends July 30th. SC2 is on July 30th. And then if you open to August, okay, the Conference for Champions push, CFC push, which is the last push of the summertime. So if you've never been an assistant manager before, some of this might be like, I don't even know what this is. If you were a rep or an AM last summer, like you're recalling all this stuff, there's 3 big pushes during the summertime: SC1, SC2, CFC, which I think we've all talked about. CFC is kind of like the Pro Bowl. SC2 is the Super Bowl. SC1 is the playoffs. All right. CFC starts Tuesday, August 3rd. And that's just a 10-day push kind of following the SC2 push, basically, before we do our TLA acceptances. Conference for Champions, which will probably be an in-person event, might be a virtual event. That will be on August 12th. So the push starts on Tuesday, August 3rd. Conference for Champions is August 12th. Okay. Just so you know, and this is something you're going to want to talk with your respective manager about, but for most of you all, any obligations that you have on staff or in the office end at CFC. Okay. So that's typical flow. Now, some of you all, hey, I don't start school, Andrew, till September. My classes start late. Then you can continue to work on staff if you have an agreement with that with your manager. Some of you all start school and classes earlier, but typically for most people, like CFC is kind of, summer doesn't end until the last day of summer. And Gabriel, I'll take your question in a second. The last day of summer is August 30th. Okay, so that's a very last day of the Cutco summer. But for most people, they are usually starting classes sometime around like August 23rd. So, and they're, a lot of people want like a week to themselves before they get ready to school and stuff like that too, if they get to school early. So usually CFC is kind of like the ending point. We'll usually have a TLA kind of party that weekend. And then we're wrapping things up and transitioning things into our fall staff for the most part. So that is the basics of the schedule. Any other schedule questions? Gabriel, you had a question.
When you say it ends at CFC, you mean at the end, right?
At the end of what?
End of CFC or like in the beginning?
So sorry, at the CFC event, Conference of Champions event. Yeah, so sorry, not the CFC push, but the CFC Conference of Champions event. That's basically like, for most people, they're kind of like, most AMs, it's kind of like, all right, it was a great summer, guys. Like, yeah, I'll see you later. That's typically how it goes. Again, some people will continue to work for a couple weeks if they're still in town, but a lot of people are usually starting classes pretty soon after that. So just know, if you're a summer assistant manager, your manager's expectations for you are probably that you're working at least till CFC. And after that, try a different conversation. If you start classes for some reason really early, then maybe things are a little bit different or nuanced there, but that works out for most people. Eric?
So are these subject to change? I've been writing them in pencil, but are these like the set dates?
These are set, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these ones, I'm not giving you guys too much stuff that's subject to change. Pretty much all this, I mean, it maybe something changes, but it's pretty much set in stone for almost all of these dates. SC1, SC2, for sure, all that stuff is set in stone. 3-week national push, that's in stone. The only thing that maybe could flex is the CFC date, if it moved from like a Thursday to a Friday or something like that, but I don't foresee that happening. So the only other things I want you guys to know as assistant managers for summer calendar is a couple of quick things. Okay, number one, I'll be doing, raise your hand if your parents have been to a parents' night before. Okay. If they haven't, I most likely the dates will be, if you want to write this down. The first parent, I'm going to be doing a parents night. It might not be a night, it might be like more like a parents morning, but a parents event, probably once a month during the summertime this year. So the first one that I'll do will be May 1st. Okay. Saturday, May 1st. And what we will likely do is I'll do a parents event for the entire division in the morning. And then likely I might change the dates and stuff like that too. If you're in Miami, I'd like to do like a in-person, as long as your parents are open to it and cool with it. But I'd like to do a in-person event with the parents of the Miami assistant manager. So I'll probably invite your family over my place for some drinks or hors d'oeuvres or something like that too, to hang out for a little bit on Saturday night on the 1st as well. So I want to connect with them again. And I'll just tell you guys this thing: if they haven't been to an event like that, or even if they have, it's just helpful to get them to that event at the beginning of the summer, to get them on their side and get them supportive, versus them like, again, just if they're not on board with you, it can be a tougher summer, versus if they're really on board and supportive from the very, very beginning. And Alyssa, that would be May 1st. So it's a Saturday right after April ends. Cool. Anyone need me to repeat any dates?
Yeah, I put it in the chat, but what day is the parent thing?
May 1st. May 1st. Okay, a couple other things that I just want you guys to be aware of. This one always comes up every single year. Okay, is there's a couple there's 4 holidays that happen during the summertime. Okay, and typically the expectation is those holidays we work on those holidays. Okay, that's just the reality of it is. In fact, in most of those holidays, those are some of our busiest days of the entire year. Now, pretty much no one will be doing anything on 4th of July. Okay, so pretty much everyone will probably have that day off. There might, if one of you are like the lucky recruiter or two, there's usually one person that might run an interview on that day, but more than likely, like even in my office, we probably won't run interviews that day on 4th of July on that Sunday. And the lucky thing is that it's on a Sunday, so everyone would have off on that Sunday, which is cool. And then we do our Monday PSP meeting. Okay, so for the most part, 4th of July, no one has to worry about that. The other 3 holidays that take place during summertime, though, okay, is Memorial Day, which is the start of the SC1 push. That's a day where a lot of people have off work or off school or whatever. That is probably, you get to start. It's the first day of the SC1 push. It's one of our biggest days of the year. The other 2 holidays are Mother's Day and Father's Day. Okay, so, and those always take place on Sundays. And I'll go ahead and give you those dates now so you have them. Okay, so Mother's Day is Sunday, May, oops, I flipped the wrong day. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 9th. Okay, and Father's Day is Sunday, June 20th. So May 9th is Mother's Day, and June 20th is Father's Day. Okay, those are Sundays. I think at this point, as assistant manager, you know how important Sundays are. So here's the thing. Here's what I found after years and years and years of doing this. Okay, the biggest thing is that you all should be proactive about talking to mom and dad about the expectations of this going into it. Meaning, like, here's the thing is, like, Sundays, most of y'all won't start till 2 or 3 o'clock. So the reality is you can still spend the whole morning with them, go to like an earlier brunch and then hop on for the day. You could spend the whole day with them on Saturday, but it's about having the conversation beforehand to show that you care. Right? Saying, hey, mom, I am expected, I have to work on Mother's Day from this time to this time. So I really want to make sure that I'm available, though, and I'm supporting you. I can make myself free all day on Saturday morning. We could celebrate Saturday evening, or we could just do things a little bit earlier on Sunday if you're cool with that. From this time to this time on Sunday, I still have to be present in the office that day. So that's just a conversation. You don't need to have this right now, but I would have it leading up to it. It's the AMs that realize the week of, oh shit, the Sunday is Mother's Day. That's in 2 days from now. Mom, I'm sorry, I've been working my butt off, and I'm also going to work on Monday. It's Mother's Day. Sorry, I didn't tell you. That's when you usually start to have problems. Okay. So a lot of it's prior proper communication. And by the way, and there's usually things, again, everything is always flexible in certain regards. So, but it's always a give and take, you know what I mean? Like if you're like someone like Andrew, Mother's Day is sacred in my household, and you don't understand, like I will get crucified if I work on Mother's Day. It's like, all right, well, we might be able to flex on Mother's Day, but that means there's gonna be a give and take. That means you might be working on another holiday where everyone else has off. If that's the one you really want to choose. So it's like, hey, I get it. If there's something that, like, some things are just really more meaningful to other people, and that means other things are going to be different. So I just want to give everyone a heads up on the calendar dates. That's really all I can think of. And those are just always things that I like to give you all ample notice on ahead of time. Just because, again, it's the same thing. Our estimators are expected to work on that day. Those are typically, unfortunately as it is, those are some of the biggest recruiting days of the year. It's like the Sunday in May and Sunday in June, which is like usually pretty important. So any questions on dates or anything like that, I just want to walk you all through them. And if there's any questions, we can obviously cover them, or you come with your respective manager. It is 6:42, so I want to dive right into our topic for the day. Okay, and talk a little bit about PDI. I don't want to delay on this anymore since I don't know how I spent this long on calendar. All right, first things first is I want to debrief a little bit. Go ahead and take a quick second to get out your notes from the PDI video that we had. And I want to go ahead and take a quick second to debrief this video. So this was a really good, hopefully, example of just first weekend PDI. There was a lot of, I did that live after doing a winter break program. There was a lot of just kind of examples too of like how to role play different scenarios. I'd love to hear just from a little bit from everybody, but guess what were some of your takeaways, nuggets from it? And then I'm going to take the last 10 minutes of this call to walk you all through how to use web PDI, which is something everyone on this call is probably going to become familiar with before summertime. And I just want to check in, just because I haven't seen it. And Issa, if you're there, just let me know. I'm not sure if you got a problem or something.
Yeah, she's there.
I'm still here, but like my Wi-Fi is doing really shitty, so I'm just trying to fix it.
You got it. All right, let me go to Eric. We'll start off.
Something that I took away from the video was how important AT1 training is. So no matter if they're doing really poorly or really well, you have to get them to AT1. So like, oh my God, don't worry. You might think you suck at the job, but I haven't even taught you, like, you haven't even been to AT1 yet, or, oh my God, you're doing so well. Imagine what you could be doing once you go to AT1. Just the importance of AT1.
Cool. I actually want to give you guys something before we continue on. I don't think this was in the video. Maybe it was. Come back to me if I'm wrong. Did I talk about seed? Seed? Probably not. Okay, cool. So I want you guys to write this down. Seed. C-E-E-D. C-E-E-D. This is every PDI call you ever do. SEED. Does anyone know what this stands for? Gabriel.
Connect, excite, events, demos.
Oh, you got it, brother. Connect, excite, events, demos. That is the format for every single call. And here's what I want you guys to understand. We have scripts for all of this. Like, you'll all be able to give it a PDI script if you want it, like the right words and the right lingo. It's not the words, it's the music. And it's about, do you know the objectives of that call? Like, are you just talking to the rep, or do you know what you're actually trying to get accomplished in that call? So to Eric's point, okay, first thing is connect with the rep, build rapport, like connect with them, like seriously build a relationship. That's the first thing. Second thing, okay, is excite, meaning you're probably getting excited about something. Excited about the team meeting, excited about the next conference, excited about the next event, excited about going big for their fast start, excited about their next demo. You're probably getting them excited about something, okay? The third thing is events, meaning it's whatever is the next upcoming event. Every call, your first weekend, what's the next upcoming event? AT1. So on literally every single call. Oh, dude, you're already at $3,000 in sales. Think about it this way. You haven't even had advanced training yet. Wait till you come to advanced training. You're going to be popping off your second week on the job. You know, you've already made it almost, $600, buddy, this like first weekend. Yeah, wait till you come to AT1. We're going to teach you how to turn those homemaker sales into complete set sales. Or, oh, you got a no sale? Hey, no worry. Look, Gabriel, you haven't even had advanced training 1 yet, man. So we'll get you there. We'll be totally fine. It's always promoting the next event. After AT1, what's the next thing I'm promoting on every single call? If it's like a Tuesday.
Phone jam.
Phone jam, team meeting. Hey, you could wait till you get to the team meeting, right? I'm always promoting like that next event. So I think that's important. And the last thing is demos, making sure there's always activity or results coming out of those phone calls or conversations. So good point, Eric. Let's go around the horn. Let's get another one here. Josh.
One of the notes that I took away from it was the first weekend is more or less just reaffirming the basics and setting up the mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, look, I mean, mentality is really everything. That's what you're really doing. Like the objectives are the first, like here's the objectives typically when you're talking to someone again on the first weekend. It's really going to be to connect with them. It's going to be to audit their mentality. Okay. And then it's going to be to spring them into action. And make sure that they show up to advanced training 1. That's pretty much it. Anything that is a serious problem in their demo will be fixed in advanced training 1. Okay. That's also to Eric's point. Like it doesn't, if a really sharp rep doesn't get to AT1, they're probably not even going to finish their fast start. If a bad rep that hasn't had having success doesn't get to AT1, they're definitely not finishing their fast start. Okay. So AT1 is really, really critical to get them there. But the rest of it is all you're doing is auditing their mentality, which is why they don't need fancy tips. Like most of your reps, guys, if they're not selling, it's because they're not doing one of the 4 basic things. Now, if they're not selling a lot, there could be some other things, right? But if they're just not performing, if they're doing, hey, I did 4 or 5 demos and I haven't sold anything yet, it's not because they're not, building enough value on the presentation, or they're not doing a good job with building rapport, or it's not any of that stuff. It's just probably because they're either not following the manual, they're not calling in from the appointments, they're not seeing MAC customers, or they are, someone help me out here. What's the 4th one? Well, manual.
They're not having fun.
Oh, not having fun. They're not getting, they have no excitement on their appointments. That's it. Those are really the only basics. Sorry that I lost train of thought. So cool. Yeah. Stick to the basics. Tasso.
Yeah. Just something you pointed out was telling is not selling. And it was very important to use your facial expressions.
Yeah. What context is that in? You remember?
It was, I forgot. I'm blanking.
Yeah, I think that might have been a conversation with the rep or something like that too. But because I'm just wondering because it's like PBI.
It was a conversation with the rep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Victoria, for helping out with that. Cool. Let's get a couple other shares here before we move on. Alyssa.
One of the biggest takeaways that I had, it was more like a really big light bulb for me, because even as a rep, I never thought about doing this. So I knew that as an assistant manager, I would not think about doing this, is when someone would want a couple pieces, try to find the closest set, because the sets build value, and then they'd be able to upgrade from like a small set, whether it's a galley or an essentials or a studio, to a homemaker eventually.
Yeah, I love that. So let me give you guys a quick little tip. A lot of y'all don't know this. Kyle, a lot of y'all might know who Kyle Lopes is. Kyle Lopes was known as the $1 million student. He sold $1 million worth of Cutco personally while he was in college, while he was at Cornell University. Okay, so not like a not like a Florida school like Cornell. It's like, pretty challenging school. And he sold $1 million of Cutco while he was in school, and he was a semi-pro hockey player. Okay, kid's a stud. Anyways, after that, he graduated from college, and then he became a district manager. And his first year as a district manager, from summer until the end of the fall, he actually started as a branch and then converted in district. He sold over $1 million. Kyle Lopes is already at almost $500,000 for this year. Okay, that's more than a lot of new offices sell for the whole year. He's already at that much, and we haven't had summer yet. To put that in perspective for you, he's going to be at $2 million in sales, and probably by like June, since he opened his office last May, already at $2 million in sale. He's crushing it. Okay. One of the things that Kyle does though, is he personally closes a vast majority of the sales that happen in his office. I talked to him when we were at that event. I was with you and Jonathan at an event called an Abundant event out in San Diego, California earlier this year, when we had a conversation with him. And he's like, dude, he's like, all my people, I close their first 3 or 4 sales, and then I start letting them close sales. So a lot of times, like, you have to realize, like, a lot of times a mistake I see a lot of AMs make, And this is why, by the way, like you've got to be good at selling as an assistant manager. Because if you don't have confidence to do this. But a good assistant manager, confident assistant manager is like you don't ever like, all right, so go ahead and say this, Joey, to the customer. I'm just going to give you like a 4-sentence line. Go ahead and repeat that to customer and let me know what they think. They don't say anything that you just said. They say something completely different and they botch it usually. Okay. So it's a lot of times it's like, wait, how did you not close that sale? Like we went from a galley to you said it sold nothing. What the heck happened? Okay. A lot of times, like the best thing to do is the first sale or two, just close the deal for them. Say, hey, you had a quick second? Can you put me on the phone with the customer and just talk to the customer and close the deal? You know, Kyle's like, dude, this was his exact words. He's like, dude, I didn't know anything about managing reps or how to do anything. I just knew how to sell Cutco. So I just like made sure that they had a lot of success when they first got started. I just talked to the customers myself, closed the deals, and then they got happy and excited because they had some sales under their belt and then they started learning. Okay. So a lot of times it's just having the confidence to like, hey, take over the call. I remember Jonathan as an assistant manager used to do that all the time. And a lot of our best sales would be like, you know, someone that was calling in to buy a galley and Jonathan would talk to the customer for 10 minutes and they'd be buying a signature set. You know, like that is also a good PDI. And by the way, it doesn't matter. Like the rep gets to hear you on the phone, talk to the customer. So they're learning through osmosis. They're seeing how easy it is. And then you're ensuring that you're getting a sale up on the board for the team, you know? So I think that's another important point to make. And this is why it's important to sell. So you have confidence to be able to do that. Right. And you're not like, I don't even know what to say to the customer because I haven't done enough appointments. So I like that you chimed that in, Alyssa, and just making sure like, you know, hey, like a lot of times it's better for them to get like a package deal than the other actual deal themselves. Because customers, new reps don't really know. They're trying to just sell what they think would be best for them. But a lot of times they don't actually think like what would be best for them. Like raise your hand if you sold someone that you knew like 2 or 3 knives and you thought that would be actually a good idea. Now you think back to it and you're like, I kind of screwed that person. That's how I feel. I sold a bunch of people when I first started my first week, like 1 knife, 2 knife. I was like, oh, I'm saving money. Whatever, they're pretty fine with this. And then I like, in hindsight, I'm like, dude, you spent $70 on 1 knife. That made no sense. It's like, why did I even do that? So hindsight 2020, but new reps don't know this. So you got to be helpful in educating them too. All right, we're going to transition a little bit unless there's any more big takeaways. All right, Madison, you want to chime in one?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I got was just to make sure that after the call, they take action. Otherwise, the call is kind of pointless. So make it worth it, make it like important.
Yes, I'm glad that you added that in as something here too, because how do you, if you get off a really good conversation with somebody, how do you know that it was a good conversation? Oh, hey, Jonathan, I just had a great PDI call with Joey Rep. Okay, tell me about it. You know, Gabriel, what was good about it? What would you, how do you know it was good?
Well, if they do something about it and like it motivates them enough to actually get to work rather than
right. So like there's results coming out of it, meaning like it generated sales or it generated recruits.
Yeah.
Like everything you're doing in the office should be in that filter. Oh, this was really productive. Was it? Did it generate sales? Did it generate recruits? If the answer was I got everyone excited for 2 hours and then nothing changed, then that didn't generate any sales or generate recruits. That was a 2-hour hoorah that didn't do anything, right? Like, and by the way, what's the thing that actually usually generates sales? Is getting them excited or getting them more what? Appointments. Okay. So yes, a person's mentality is important, but the reality is that they sell more when they have more appointments in front of them. You know, the rep that's really excited and now is excited for their demos coming up and they've got 2 of them in front of them is going to sell less than the reps that's not that excited about their demos, but they booked up 5 more and now they've got 7 for their weekend. It's just a reality, okay? If the person has more demos, is going to do better. They're going to sell more. It's MMC DMD. So making sure that like, hey, your meeting is actually leading into your call is leading to action. Hey, Andrew, I talked on like this is a good PDI conversation in the morning. Is hey, and actually, I'm going to just do this for. I'm going to keep this conversation going a little bit longer because I want to. I'm just going to table the web PDI. We can take that. It will take me 10 minutes to go through web PDI, and I'll go through it next week. So we'll keep talking this because I only have 5 minutes and I want to rush through it anyways. On the same note, okay, a good morning PDI conversation. If I'm an assistant manager, right, or I'm Jonathan Castellano, I'm a PSM, and I say, hey, Gabriel, I'm just using you for all the examples this morning. And Gabriel's a sales manager, so he's managing one of my teams. Jonathan starts off the morning meeting. It's a Monday. Hey, guys, all of our sales managers, I need you to call through all of your teams today. And all right, cool. It went from 8 a.m. It's like 10 a.m. Jonathan sits down with Gabriel and says, all right, how did your calls go this morning? And he goes, really, really good. Cool. He's like, tell me about them. Okay. If Gabriel's response was really, really good, and this person's excited, and this person's feeling good, and these people are coming to the team meeting on Wednesday. Okay. Like my response, if I was John, I'd be like, so what was good about it? I was like, what happened? Are you thinking with objectives in mind? Like what was actually accomplished, right? A good update would be like, hey, yeah, I called through my whole team and here's the update. I got 5 people to hop on the phones this morning and make more phone calls. That led to an extra 10 demos that my team booked this morning. So that should be at least an extra $1,000 in sales. There's another 5 to 10 people that I'm still in communications with. They'll probably end up jamming a little bit later. And then, so-and-so on our team, they actually recommended a couple other people to the job. That's an example of like a good update. Of like, hey, are you creating activity? Are you creating actions? Are you creating more appointments? And does anyone know like the CPO number that's typically associated per appointment booked in the office? Like if we book up 20 demos in the office, that should equate to how much in CPO for the office?
Question, would you multiply that by the average or no?
Multiply it by, does anyone know number? 100. So, Jonathan, the average is high at 200, but 100.
Well, no, I was saying 20 demos is 2K. But
1,000, yeah. So 100 is the average, guys. And this is, by the way, so Gabriel, the reason it's at 100 because it's also taking into account like fake demos, canceled demos, no-show demos, and no sales. Okay, into that account, into that number. That's why it's be 100. So it's for every 10 demos booked, it's $1,000 in CPO on the board for the week. So, and this is how you actually manage your office. Like if you guys want to have a 10 grand day in the office on a Monday, how many demos do you need to have for the team? How many? I see a lot of you math in it, but someone say it. You guys able to unmute yourselves?
100.
100. Yep. You got it, Josh. 100 demos. If I want us up 10 grand, we need 100 demos. Okay. So if it's Monday morning and Champions Club starts, it's 8:30 a.m. Champions Club just started. I've got 10 reps in front of me. I've got 30 reps in the team, and we've got 80 demos booked up for today. We're only on pace to sell 8 grand going into today, but we want to hit our goal of 10 grand. What do I do to make sure that we hit 10 grand for the day if it's 8:30 in the morning right now?
Can't we call some reps and see if they could hop on to Champions Club so they could book some demos so we could get to our goal?
Yeah. So this is kind of what I think about it. Like just do math, right? So it's like, all right, hey, we need to get to 10 grand for the day. We need 100 demos. We've only got 80 demos right now. I've got 5 reps in front of me in Champions Club. Okay. If I can just get each of these 5 reps to book up 2 demos this morning, that's 10 demos. And then I just need to phone jam through the rest of the team and see who else can hop on the phones today or later on this morning to book up another, 10 demos. I really just need 5 to 7 more reps that each book up 1 to 2 more demos. And then boom, that will be 20 demos for the day. We'll hit 100 demos for today. We'll hit our 10K goal. That's how you drive the sales report and drive the flow of things too. So I just want you guys to understand there's method to the madness, and we're not just aimlessly calling people just because we should call people right now. It's like, hey, drive the results. And also just know this is how you think about it from a managerial standpoint. But the reality is that each of those demos that they book up results in more CPO for that representative too. Again, you just need to know hey, it's kind of like being a good leader is about helping your people get better. So it's kind of like the example of hey, if a mom that coddles their kids, they don't allow them to grow because they protect them and stuff like that too. They're not going to grow and develop the way that they need to. Same thing with our representatives. It's yes, it's good for our teams to book up more demos, but it's good for the representative too. They don't think like you do their first summer on the job. Okay. But what the reality is, whether they get it or not, if they hop on the phone and book up 5 to 10 extra demos, that's going to result in a much bigger paycheck than any 30-minute coaching session you're probably going to have with them, on the phone for a little bit, is them actually taking 30 minutes to book up some more appointments. So, it really always goes back to MMC DMD. And that's what we really want to be driving. If I'm a sales manager, like that's my objectives every single morning, is I'm calling through the team to try to I'm trying to connect with people. I'm trying to get them excited about that day. I'm trying to, promote the next event. SC1's coming up, team meetings tomorrow, our Sunday paycheck meetings on Sunday, whatever the next event that's coming up. And I'm talking about, hey, how many demos do you have? And you want to live, breathe, eat, and sleep. You guys just hear what I said? Live, eat, breathe, sleep inside of what is the 3-day window of today, tomorrow, and next day. That is all that ever matters in the world of PDI and demos. How many demos do you have for today? How many you have for tomorrow? How many do you have for the next day? 3-day window, always, every single call. So that's what you're talking about in the demos. Doesn't always need to be a long conversation. And by the way, Gabriel, talk to me about your 3-day window. How many demos do you have for today? How many you have for tomorrow? And how many you have for the next day? And you're just giving perspective. Oh, you only have 1 for today, but 4 tomorrow and 3 the next day. All right, cool. We probably need to make some moves. Or, hey, dude, you're stacked for today. Just let's make sure we get a little bit extra phone time, because tomorrow's demos are a little bit low based off of your goals that I'm looking at here. Okay. Next week, we're going to talk about how to use Web PDI, which for those of you guys that haven't used it before, it's sneak peek. I'm actually really glad that we're on the new Vector Impact app, because I like Web PDI a lot better than the Q platform. There's lots of cool features. You can send messages to reps on here. I can take notes on here. So I have I pull up a rep's name and I have their school, major, coursework, their CVI. I can see every rep's average order. I can move them into groups, into different teams in the office. I can see their phone jam results. I can do things like this. Check this out. This is a sneak preview for next week. But if I wanted to send them, let's say I want to, send a message, or I'll go back and I'll do it next week. Team messages, whatever, I'll just do next week. But just so you guys know, there's a way, if you want to, you're like, all right, everyone on my team that has a below average order of $300, I want to send this video on increasing your average order. Boom, send a text, send a message to all your reps under $300 average order that need to improve their results. There's a lot of cool features that you can do here to manage your teams, check attendance, all that good stuff. So we'll be going how to use this platform as a team next week. Take a quick second to post up your biggest light bulbs from today into the group chat. And then friendly reminder for next week's assignment. Okay, next week will be our 6th and final call. Okay, so there will not be a call on March, unless that is next week. Sorry, no, that is next week. So there's a call next week. So next Tuesday is our final call. Okay, after that, our calls will move to 5 o'clock on Wednesdays instead of our TLA sessions. All this is in the document, by the way. The next week will be our 6th and final call. We'll be going over art of promotion, event-to-event management, and talking about now till SC1. And I will post a reminder with the specific assignment that will be due. But it will be the Brian Hurlman Art of Promotion, which this video is like, if you can master this, you can master anything as an assistant manager. If you can get good at this skill, you'll be good at literally everything you do as an assistant manager, because it's really your number one job as a manager leader, especially in the virtual climate world. I'll hang out for anybody. If you guys have any additional questions outside of that, everyone's free to go. And just make sure you post up your light bulbs in the chat. We'll check with y'all soon.